everybody. This is a new year, and we're starting a new series. And this series is on spices. And we're starting with allspice. Some people think that allspices is a combination or a blend of spices because the name allspice. It's actually not. It's a berry. You can see here, quite a large berry, a bayberry tree berry from Jamaica. It's a pretty pungent spice. It's got kind of a peppery smell and taste to it. And it's often not needed in very much quantity, is what it looks like. This one, the darker one. So people don't really buy it very often. You can make your own. That's what this lighter one is, by doing, let's say, a half teaspoon of cinnamon and a quarter teaspoon each of cloves and nutmeg. This is in the recipe that Sarah is sending out. Again, you can tell it's not quite the same pungency, but it is about the same flavor. And we use just a pinch of it. And we use just a pinch of it in this dish, which I'm using as comfort food. I think it aligns with what Christina was talking about today. This is what some people call overnight bread pudding or French toast. It's basically a baguette or half baguette. In this case, I just did it for one, so it's a quarter of a baguette, and one apple and one egg and a bit of milk, allspice, yes. And you pour the egg mixture over apple and the baguette, as you can see, and then you leave it in the fridge overnight and forget about it. And then in the morning, do a 350 temp oven and bake it for about 40 minutes until it gets kind of golden on the outside, as you can see, kind of crusty. And then I just glazed it with a little bit of maple syrup. You can use honey. Some people put cream. Go for it. And that's it. Really simple, really comforting. It is not a dairy-free or gluten-free, but you can make it gluten-free with gluten-free bread. You can substitute the milk with coconut milk. You still need an egg for binding. So this is pretty versatile. It's very warming, very nourishing because of the allspice. And yeah, this would be something easy that you can just make overnight. As I said, forget about it and then bake it in the morning. Next week, we'll look at basil. And I'm going to look at Thai basil and Italian basil and create a few dishes with that different herb. All right. So yeah, if you got some questions about this, please.
Beautiful. Allspice was the first thing. What was the second thing?
Allspice is a berry from the berry tree.
No, I got that. But you said there was.
You can make a substitute, and here you are again. You can make a substitute cinnamon, 1 part cinnamon, and then half part each nutmeg and cloves.
Got
you can see by the color that they're a little bit different from each other, but it is a decent enough substitute. Because, you know, what I'm asking you to do is try different spices, yes, but not keep them in your cupboard too long if you're not using them very much. If a spice has been opened, we're looking at about a year. Something that's been around since the 80s is a good idea to toss. So yeah, a year once you've opened your spice. And if you're not going to use this allspice very much, then make your own facsimile.
Got it. Okay.
So thank you for that question. And it would be the same, Yvonne, as you're asking. If you do, let's say, a teaspoon of cinnamon and a half teaspoon each of cloves and nutmeg, just put it in a little spice jar like you would others. Don't put it in a plastic sack. That plastic will leach into the spice and the spice into the plastic. Put it into glass and then put it away from the light and away from something that's heavy heat. So don't put it above your stove or your oven, right, in the light. Put it in a drawer, put it in a pantry, put it in a cupboard, put it in a closet, okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You could put pear, you have apples in there, but couldn't you put pears or even
grapes?
Oh,
absolutely. That would be a great flavor, yes. And still use the allspice, Terry. Let's say you don't have fresh fruit, then use a little bit of dried fruit, dried dates or apricots, or, you know, I was talking last week about candied ginger. Little few slices of that would be lovely in this. So yes, fruit gives moisture. Fruit gives a different kind of bite versus the softness of the bread. Fruit gives a bit more nutrition as well. And it soaks up the bread in a different, or soaks up the milk in a different way from the bread. So yeah, that's a great idea. Pear would be fine.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
What if it was a different season, everybody? What if plums, right? Right now we've just, you know, celebrated Christmas holidays for many of us. Dried cranberries, we might still have a few of those in the cupboard. Put that in there. As I said, this is pretty flexible, right? What if you don't have baguette? Sourdough. You could use English muffin and just kind of shred that up, you know, tear it into pieces versus cube it. All of that will work with this.
Sounds good.
Looks
Kind of like what's in
tasty.
your pantry.
Is it just one beaten egg per serving?
Yes, that's right. What I have done is for 4 servings, because you can freeze this or you can keep it in the refrigerator for a number of days. But yes, I did this 1 serving for all of you, and that's just 1 egg, about 1/4 cup of milk, a pinch or so of allspice, 1 small apple, 1/4 baguette. That's about 2 slices of bread. Think of it that way. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you. It's a good way to start the year with A, allspice, and we're just going to go B, C, D all the way. All right.
Fun.
Hey, thanks for watching this YouTube video. If Unity's message of positive spiritual living resonates with you, I hope you'll subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on other lessons as we post them. Also, if you're able to support us financially in the work that we do in the world, please check below for contact information. You can visit our website, find more about what programming we offer, as well as how to give. Blessings.
Good job. I love that.